All right, y'all. We back with another one. This one is with the Whatever podcast. Y'all have definitely seen me react to them before. It's usually a conservative setup versus liberal setup, or modern lifestyle versus a little bit more conservative, like or just two different train of thoughts, two different competing thoughts on relationships or religion, but they mainly focus on relationships. And this one is definitely going to be on relationships and why, well, more so female male dynamics and why the past of a woman matters in their ability to one, attach themselves to their partner. Two, it's a sum of all of the decisions that you chose to make before me. It will definitely let me know if you're not as disciplined with your sexual urges, and if you're not disciplined in that area, you could jeopardize a lot of shit for me and my future. And I don't want anybody like that. And I expect the same for men too. Like you will fuck up this legacy that everybody's trying to fight for, or some shit like that. Even though 5 generations down, you'll probably be forgotten. But if you're fighting for legacy anyway, or to have your name ring for eons, you could fuck all that up by just simply fucking the wrong person, or messing with the wrong person, or dating the wrong person. And all of that matters in the grand scheme of who you are in your decision making. So we're gonna see and figure out why women don't believe that, or why they resist that notion. Let's get into it, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know why I'm here. 1v1 upload challenge to my little brother, Dev DTB. Hop over to his page, like, comment, subscribe there too. Let's get it.
We have a photo.
Oh.
Nick, I think. Don't worry, she's
crazy.
wearing.
Oh
No,
shit!
she's wearing
So
pants.
scared.
She's not naked.
Jesus.
Wait, is that her? That's her. Yeah. Oh shit! That's Gold Girl in the Black. That's crazy. That's a crazy proportion right there. That's a crazy dynamic right there. She looked at least like 120, maybe 5'4", 5'5". Yeah, that's a crazy. Yeah, bro, that's a puzzle right there.
I was scared for
So
you,
I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah. My
And
mom saw that too.
there's another photo that
Wait, what did your
can't
mom-
show. There's another photo that we definitely can't show.
Jeez.
So, Molly, I love you, but that photo and the corresponding photo that comes with it, I gotta be honest. It sounds like you're in a relationship, you're happy, are you in love? I don't know. That photo, though.
That's kind of crazy. As much as I am in the kink space, which is in BDSM world, and it can be a very perverted place. Certain shit you just can't let certain shit you just can't tolerate. Like, I may be vanilla to a lot of people in that world, but I enjoy it. I love it. I've learned a lot about myself, a lot about women, a lot about my partners. But there's just certain shit that just cannot, and call it a double standard. I really don't give a fuck. Certain shit I can't do, like having my partner just have her ass ran through on the internet everywhere. Niggas walking up to you or just looking at you crazy because they know what your bitch pussy diaphragm. They know what the inside of that shit look like, cause she got that motherfucker gaping out in camera. just a black fucking hole facing the camera because somebody done dug her shit out. Nah, bro, I'm good. And I damn sure don't want my children seeing it.
We're just friends.
It's gonna be a wrap for like 90% of dudes, son.
Because they're
They
intimidated.
see that shit, it is a wrap,
That has shit to do with being intimidated, baby girl.
son. They see the other photo. The other photo, I can't show
What
it. It's
is
not
the other
YouTube.
photo?
Let's just say, somebody get me a fucking.
Can I see it at least?
A coke.
Pretend.
I should have brought the dildos I just. Oh my god,
Wait.
Doc Johnson sent me these butt plugs.
I'm sorry. Like,
I love this talk right now.
it
This
becomes.
is my favorite talk ever.
I gotta say, 99% of men, if they know that photo's out there, you can't be wifed. I'm sorry.
I
It's
don't
a wrap.
want to be wifed by them if that.
I'm just saying.
Do you want to be wifed in general?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? In the dark recesses of your husband's mind will be that photo. Pretend this is not this color. Okay?
We should
It's huge. Huge. Like,
And that just says that, I mean, it really ain't. It's semi-size, semi-skill. It's mostly skill. Because, I mean, if they're emotionally attached to you, some of them could give two fucks about a size at all. But there is something to say about the visual representation of size and the sexual gratification that they get from seeing a certain size on their partner. So if you're used to seeing a certain size, you work around certain sizes, certain men, certain energies that your partner can't give you. After a while, because your threshold for certain shit is so high, it's not going to be enough, which is why I'm careful about my tolerance level and like the certain shit I tolerate and how far I go with a lot of shit. And I can go pretty far. I mean, when it comes to bondage, different types of bondage, different types of S&M play, different types of DNS play, like it can get pretty deep, but there are levels to this shit. And after a while, when you hit a certain level that she probably has, yeah, there is no. It's kind of like the more levels you reach in your career, even as a woman or man, the less options that you have, because you're getting to a point of where it only becomes relatable to certain people, and you can only create that connection with certain types of people, and certain people won't even want your lifestyle or be in your lifestyle because of where you are in your career or where you are spiritually or where you are mentally. Certain people just like, bruh, that's not to say you're ahead or further behind. It's just not something that meshes well with me. And that group of people usually gets smaller and smaller the deeper you go with the need or want to have something become compatible with you. And the same can happen sexually. And I know this for a fact because for me, my partner choices are very specific. And the ones who last longer, sexually, they have to be able to mesh well with me kind of off rip. Like, yeah, like that shit is just very important to me. Being in my lifestyle and liking the things that I like. And you have to know about tantric sex. You have to know how to mentally, emotionally, and sexually arouse me and keep me in conversation and keep me engaged. And I gotta learn the same about you. I gotta study and have studied how to do that with women as well. And I'm dropping a podcast. Well, it's not even a podcast. It's like a vlog, but also a podcast episode at some point on this channel that will display a little of that and a little bit of that world, but not. I probably won't drop some of the BDSM stuff on this channel. It'll probably happen on another channel. 'Cause this one's really just me giving my thoughts for real, with a little bit of IRL and co-curated reactions or topics being talked about. But yeah, I know, because I just have to have certain partners, certain types of partners, because sex is very important to me. I think it has to be for you to be in that profession as well, to some degree. So I hope her partner can. Well, he's clearly living up to it to some capacity.
Imagine how, like, you're.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, one time.
Am I insecure for that? Like,
No.
I'm sorry.
Do
It's
you
a
want-
rap.
do you want-
It is a rap, son. I can't. Okay, sorry.
Do you want
I'm getting
children?
worked up. I'm sorry.
I do want children. I feel like
So-
I know where you're.
And we're not even talking about the physical effects that it's having on her body too. Like, we're not even talking about that part. We're just talking, I mean, mentally and physically, the shit is taking you to a whole new height that only so many people will be able to reach. And it's also creating certain consequences on your body too, as far as what's happening to your body on the back end years later when you actually do want kids.
With this.
Well, okay. I guess I want to ask one question. Why did you get in the porn industry?
That's a very loaded question.
And this is prime example as to why you cannot trust. Niggas be like, oh, she dressed this way, she looked this way, she out in the club, she doing this. Bruh, you could look at this girl, you would not know. She could be Amish for all you niggas know, bro. She could literally put on an Amish outfit and erase her whole fucking past, bro. She could turn into a whole different person. And you would not fucking know any of this about her.
Does it have to do with like
By just looking.
family background or?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Look at her, bro. That you would not tell at all.
I got into porn. It was a personal choice. I wanted to get into
Sure.
porn. But I think what led me into sex work was stuff that was beyond my control. And it, like, formed my mental in a certain way. And now I live with that and I make the best of it. And I think that when I was younger, like 18, like working at the strip club, I gained
I can't even see this girl as a stripper, bro. What club? Well, I guess you got like clubs for fucking drivers, truck drivers and shit like that. I heard they make a lot of bread. You got clubs for, I don't know what the white club, I guess she would be in the white clubs. I don't know what my Caucasian brothers are into, but I can't, her body style. Yeah.
like people skills, talking
Like
to
middle
people that
America?
I necessarily didn't really like or find attractive, and I got really good at making money off of
finesse.
that. No, yeah, I got really.
No, I will
Yeah.
say she's very well spoken.
Like I
So-
got really good at making money off that. So I was pissed because I wasn't making enough money for the effort that I was putting in, and I don't really care what people think of me, like sexually wise. Like
How old y'all think she is? That's an interesting part. I want to say maybe like 22, 23.
I always want to be a good person, but
yeah, okay. So before you got into adult content, what was your thought process? Did you think, hey, I want to be a nurse?
Hey, that jester painting in the back, very clutch. I don't know where they're gonna put that or whose it is, but y'all can. Oh damn, y'all can't see that. Let me move it down. Let me move it here back. That jester poster right there. I forgot the painter's name, but very deep painting right there. Very dark painting too when you learn the history.
Like, were there other options on the table?
were,
Like anything? Like
were always thinking
photographer?
about
I
Like
used.
teacher?
I mean, like you can think what you want about this, but I used to joke in high school that I would be like the best porn star if I got into porn. I think like I've always been a sexual person. I've always really enjoyed physical sensation.
So-
you can obviously say no, but do you mind me asking?
Butler donated $99. The only test for genital herpes that works is a Western blot test and is highly accurate. With over 100 scenes, the corn star is likely gonna get a result she doesn't like. Would you be willing to take the test? Yeah, I bet not, you filthy animal.
Angels with
Dude
filthy
has
souls.
like a
My goodness.
I guess
hyperfixation
you
on
respond.
everything.
Like,
So-
Christmas, you filthy
So I
animal.
guess Yeah, that's a.
Do you want to respond?
Yeah, do you want to respond? Okay.
Bender the Offender donated $99. I leave for 5 minutes and y'all are talking about butt plugs and didos now.
You can blame
Bender,
Brian,
Absolute
actually.
haram.
Bender, if I knew the button for haram, I'd be pushing it. I agree. But yeah, so do you want to respond to either of those?
I definitely would take a herpes test if I needed to, but I also have
You missed something.
never been put in the position where I need to take a test, and I've never had any symptoms, which has led me to want to take a test.
Do you mind me asking, like, would you mind sharing details about, like, your parents?
I will say some of the safest motherfuckers are the ones in the sex industry, bro, and in the underworld of perversion, I guess you could say, like the kink world, kink community, sex work world, bro. Them motherfuckers, for the most part that I've seen, and me included, being in that world, bro, we're some of the safest motherfuckers you'll ever meet. Because you have to get rid of the uncomfortable conversations up front. Well, they shouldn't be uncomfortable. I don't know why they're uncomfortable for people in the vanilla world or in the monogamous traditional world. I don't know why the shit's not being discussed. And I think you get a little too comfortable with, one, your sex life and then the contentment that comes with that, which leads to you having sexless marriages like y'all do. And two, the dangers of, because you're having sexless marriages, your partner stepping out and bringing something back to your crib, because you're vulnerable to this person and you're laxy-daisy about their whereabouts and the fact that how much sex is required and needed in a relationship. You don't think twice about them cheating or even if it's an open relationship, you don't think twice about them bringing something back to you. And you should. Definitely should. Fuck that. It don't matter if I'm comfortable with you or not. You're getting tested, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, sure,
Are they
sure.
still together?
No.
Okay.
Separated?
Yeah.
Were, like from the get-go or like midway through life?
I grew up in a very wealthy neighborhood just outside of DC. I grew up with like kids that had everything, like
Sure.
very first class. Then my parents got a divorce, they split up, and my mom and my grandfather and I ended up homeless, and we all ended up living in one room together in a homeless shelter from like the ages of 16 to 18.
Okay.
So the second I turned 18, obviously that's going to cause an obsession with money, from having absolutely everything you can have in life to having nothing.
Of course, yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that.
No, I mean, like, honestly,
Well, no, but that's a
I
tough
really
upbringing for
appreciate
anybody to go
that it
through.
happened to me. I really appreciate that it happened to me because it shaped the way that I am for the better. That being said, I think it...
Do you think that if you didn't go through that particular event in your life, you would still be in the same industry that you're in?
I don't know. I've always had a passion for, like, animals. I love volunteering at the animal shelter, so I might have tried to do something with that. But I think ultimately, I probably still would have ended up doing OnlyFans, probably
Sure.
still would have ended up going into porn from that, because that's just the type of person I am in general.
Can we just pull up the photo one more time? Can we just pull up the photo one more time? Listen, Molly, I love you. You're very kind.
Yeah, be
Maybe it's
careful.
the stripper finesse, but no. She's wearing. Look, it seems
wearing
like
pants.
she has
My
some
heart is
jeans
still
on.
racing from the
She
first time you
she has some jeans on. The other photo, this one, I mean, it could just be a friend, of course, right?
Yeah.
The other photo, though, probably. I mean, again, you're a great girl. I'm sorry, it's a wrap for 99% of dudes. They can't wife you. If I was dating you, okay, if I was dating you and I fell upon that picture, you know, like, here, why was I using a water bottle? I got this, son.
don't
Hold on,
think
look at this
she's
shit.
hiding.
Look at the microphone.
Here.
It was like this.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, actually, wait, go ahead,
she's not particularly hiding this side of her. So,
That is so burned into my fucking retina. Okay,
Yeah,
I just
And
can't.
now
I can't. You're very nice. You're very sweet, but it's like.
Well, obviously her boyfriend's okay with it.
Yeah.
Else he wouldn't
her
be dating
boyfriend
her.
Well,
does...
I
But I'm
would
saying for
argue.
99%.
No, yeah.
I
so
know.
Yeah, you would have to date somebody, and it's no different than being a very successful whatever the fuck, or just kind of an extreme, just an extreme human being to some whatever capacity. If you're extremely successful, extremely into extreme things, you could be a regular ass civilian. If you just love risking your life to jump out of planes all the time, and a woman actually understands that the likelihood of you dying has now risen to a substantial amount or percentage, certain ones are gonna be like, nah, bro, ain't no point in me getting attached or having kids because you are risking your fucking life all the time, every day. If you're in the military, certain women don't do military because it just comes with a lot of shit. Some people don't do stockbrokers and lawyers because it just comes with a lot of shit. And usually they marry or get into relationships with one of their kind, one of their own. So I would not be surprised if her boyfriend was a porn star himself. But, you know, if it makes you happy and that person is for you, do your fucking thing. Because she has to essentially deal with the same shit. Like, yo, work is work. I can block out the fact that he's plowing this motherfucker to the heavens, like, for hours on end. I can be cool with that. Because when he gets home, it's something totally different. It's a different vibe. It's a different energy. As long as my partner isn't doing this or that, then, you know, they came up with that agreement.
99.
But he'd probably have to be in her world. And I'm learning that about myself too. I think the person that I would probably be with for a while would have to be a part of my world, a part of the kink community and BDSM community.
90% of men.
Aside from the,
I'm sorry, Molly.
Aside from the sexual promiscuity,
That's why the word average exists.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Wait, what?
whatever.
99% of men, that's average. I
I
want
don't
to be above
oh,
average.
I don't think that's
Statistically,
how the
that's
math
not
works.
true. But whatever.
I don't think that's how the math works.
Yeah, math. It's
math is
the
not
standard deviation, and that's not 99%.
Okay.
But
Go ahead,
whatever.
Mason, go ahead.
Anyway, so aside from the,
The shaming tactics is always where they lose me. Because I don't shame anybody for not being able to be tied up or fucking blindfolded or hoisted up or sealed in a fucking vacuum bag. I don't if you know what a vac bed is, then, you know, drop some in the chat, man. But I don't shame people and women who don't find my lifestyle and the things I'm really, really into disturbing or disgusting or uncomfortable or just not their cup of tea. I understand. I get it. For sure. You know, but more than likely, if you want to go far with me, you'd have to learn to see my world and be in my world. Or, you know, love me from afar and go find your husband elsewhere.
obvious sexual implications with your job that would turn off pretty much any man, except very, very few. There are other things that are, I think, in the background that are super concerning. First, I kind of get the understanding that most people that go into the S-work industry, they do it because it's easy money, and they say, I usually hear the rhetoric, it makes me happy, I enjoy it, I like the attention, whatever. They give their reasons. I would argue that people nowadays have a increased tendency to seek instant gratification.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a problem. I think men and women suffer from that, but especially in the S-work industry, the instant gratification that is chased has way more damaging effects down the road than they are willing to understand. And somebody who is willing to suppress that knowledge is not going to have a good relationship in the end. Any man who is willing to say, I don't care that you are in this sexualized industry, because there is a tendency for instant gratification instead of prolonged gratification. Like when you go to the gym, you're not going to see a change instantaneously. My first day in the gym, I'm not going to get ripped. But someone who goes to the gym for 10, 20, 30 years, after 30 years, there is, muscular gains, but there's also, you can provide, you can be there for your wife physically. You can.
Yeah.
Do you consider how this would? Because I know you said that you want to have children one day. Do you ever consider how that your work might?
I get what he's saying, but
children one day
took a little minute for that.
And do you think it will?
Of course it will. Negatively, it might, but I definitely don't think it will.
It might is crazy. I mean, that's why I know what he's saying, because I don't think people actually understand the risk that comes with that. And there's a risk with just being in the BDSM world and your kids finding out that there is this world that exists and that they want to explore before they understand what tolerance is and how to build tolerance and the difference between tolerance and acceptance and discipline, sexual discipline, and all the gray areas in between within that world. There's definitely some risk there too. But there's risk with sex in general, and just, after a while you got to teach your kids about it and hope that they make the right judgment calls based off of what you've taught them. This being a sex worker and a parent, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, don't know what the highest risk of that would be outside of shame. And, actually prolonged shame will probably be the highest, because it's there forever. And the large majority of the forming years of your children's outcome and who they'll be and who they're shaped to be, that may affect tremendously. So
positively affect them, other than the fact that I'm able to be financially stable for them. I think that it would either affect them negatively or neutrally, and I think that basically all depends on me and how I explain it to them.
Okay.
So I can pretty much promise you
point.
it will negatively affect them.
Why?
Why? Because that is
your kids are going to get bullied.
Yeah, your kids are.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest, is that because it's on the internet, the bullying part, and kids are already, they don't give a fuck already, bro. Like, the internet has already got them warped as fuck. So, dousing that on the fire, boy.
Really gonna get bullied.
But they're
first of all,
get bullied for anything.
It's not really up to you. It's up to the internet.
Yeah. It's publicly on the internet. Most of your content, I'm assuming, is free on the internet. If it's
the only way you could protect your kids is if you locked them in the house, had no internet access, and just made sure that they lived,
your kids
breathed, and died in that same house without seeing anything.
I mean, I just hope I would raise my child well enough so that they understand that I'm a human being and that's my job, and not
sure, but that's not how
kids
just
like a sexual object.
Yeah, but that's not how kids perceive things. Kids are of course influenced by their parents, but they're very much influenced by their peers. And if their peers are going to school saying, "I saw your mom naked on the internet," that's absolutely going to negatively impact them, how their friends look at them, how people look at you and view your family.
I agree with that, but I also think that every judgment made says more about the person that makes the judgment rather than the person that they're judging.
Well,
but it's going to affect your kids. That's what they're saying.
If the judgment is if the assessment is accurate, then
if the shoe fits.
Again, I think that the bullying from the other children that would potentially come down from my children would come from parents that pass down negativity onto their children.
I mean, so bullying wise,
point, and I have to move
go
on.
for it, Brian.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Quick point.
Sorry.
I think,
point, and I have to move
on. So, actions speak louder than words. So you say you're going to raise your kids in a way that makes them understand, you can say that until you're blue in the face. But if they see different, if your life shows different, then they don't care. Like, how many people here have been raised by parents who they talk a good game, but in action, they messed you up, which is heartbreaking. But a lot of people out there, like, their parents might say, like, I thought I was a good parent, blah, 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 but in actuality, they did a terrible job.
I mean, I know plenty of moms in the porn industry that have great relationships with their children, and they're great moms.
I mean, that's anecdotal, but...
Like, you guys are speaking statistically, and I'm speaking from, like, real life, actual people that I've met, real families that I've seen. It's actually, like, people can be understanding.
You can also read plenty of stories on the internet of children that have committed suicide because they've been bullied because their parents have done.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, that's not useful.
Let's use delete yourself or.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting one right there, man, for sure. But you know, if her and her partner have agreed to go into this relationship, possibly have kids, and they got it under wraps, I don't see anything wrong with it. But yeah, the outcome itself, I don't see it being too positive, especially with it being on the internet. I can't say outside of Kambaku, that's probably the only thing I will put on the internet, which is the act of tying. But that has a history that is also not just erotic, but filled with art too. And it can be very artistic from a cultural standpoint, and it has cultural use. And of course, cultural nuance too that has to be explained to kids. But yeah, more power to them, man. Like, comment, subscribe. I will catch y'all on the next one.